Do you want to have a flawless makeup look? Watch this video for my tips on having a flawless makeup look that's going to last you all day. If you don't know who I am, my name is Amanda Davis. I'm, of course, the face behind Amanda's Beauty Alcove. And like I said, in this video, I'm going to share with you tips for having your makeup last longer that have worked for me. And they are tips that you may or may not know. And so I'm so excited to dive into these tips. And if you're here live, I do want you to say hello in the comments. Let me know you're here. And if I don't respond, because it's not very easy to comment back when I'm talking, I will respond afterwards. If you are catching the replay, let me know that as well. You can do the hashtag replay gang or just, let's say, hey, watching the replay, whatever. Let me know that you watched because I would love to respond to you. If you're watching the replay uploaded to my YouTube channel, say hello in the comments there as well. And this matters because we all have days when our makeup just doesn't do what we want it to do, right? And so I wanted to share some tips that will help with your makeup to last all day, to not be quite as cakey, and also just things that will help you with your more natural looking makeup look. And before I get into this too much, I do want to just say, I will be honest. Most days I go out and I actually don't wear any makeup. I work in childcare, and children in childcare do not care whether I'm wearing makeup or not. And rather than make myself get up really early so that I have plenty of time to do all that, I honestly, most days, I don't wear anything. If I wear something, it might be a very, like just like a lip something lip. And so one of the things that I will sometimes use is these Beyond Glow lip tints, because they're hydrating, and then they just have like a little bit of tint to them. So a lot of times I'll just go out with just something like this on, particularly when I go to work, because like I said, in childcare, kids don't care. And I don't have the time for all that. If I'm only going to go out with one product, I will say that it would be a lip product. And then a lot of times, if I want a little bit more, I will go ahead and do eyes with my eyeshadow and mascara. But if I really want my makeup to last, I'm going to use primer. And that is the first step to your flawless face, having primer. It's can be thought of as a double-sided tape for your makeup. It's going to help to keep everything in place and smooth your skin. Um, and so I will use primer, and I actually, if I really want my makeup to last all day, I'll use my facial primer, I'll use an eyeshadow primer, and I'll use an eyelash primer. But more about my eyes in a minute. So for the primer, you do want to make sure that you have a primer that's going to work for your skin. I honestly, I have normal skin, I feel like right now for the most part. So I will use all different types of primers because Avon has a few, and I am an independent Avon ambassador. And so Avon has a few primers that I like to use. But before I did this video, I did put on the Glow Color Hybrid Face Primer. This one is it's got plant-based ingredients, and you only have to have a small amount before you can apply it to the skin. But this one is a hydrating formula. So if you have dry skin, you would use a hydrating primer. If you have oily skin, you want to use a mattifying primer to help control your shine. And if you have large pores, you could try a pore filling primer to help with your smoothing out your face. And if you use a primer, I want you to let me know. So, who uses a primer? If you use a primer, let me know in the comments. Let me know what primer you like to use. Let me know what type of skin you have, and I can let you know some options that might be available. Like I said, this primer is just one of the ones that Avon offers, but I like this one because it is a hydrating formula. And so it can be kind of like a combination skincare on top of your skincare, which actually, bonus tip, the best base for your makeup is a good skincare routine. That's why most of the time when I go out without makeup, because I do feel like my skincare has helped me to feel more confident going out without makeup. But the Glow Color Primer, so I did use that tonight. And then after that, your second thing is your foundation and your concealer if you need concealer. Not everybody needs concealer, and maybe you don't always need concealer. I know I don't always wear concealer, but if you want to have foundation and concealer, the secret is that less is more, and you can build coverage instead of putting on too much at once. Um, because when you put on too much at once, that's what gives your skin that cakey appearance. And so some tips for your foundation is you can use a damp sponge to help with a natural skin line finish. Your concealer, if you're going to apply concealer under the eyes, you can actually do a triangular shape. Um, and that's going to help to make your eyes be more lifted. And before you put in any concealer or foundation, another tip is that you can let your concealer sit for about 30 seconds before you blend it, because that's going to help give you some better coverage. And so I did put a little bit of the FMG Cashmere Concealer. It's a jar. It's really nice. I did put a little bit of that under my eyes before the video tonight. Of course, I don't think you can necessarily tell, but that's okay. The other thing I want to mention is what I did before the video actually only took me about 10 minutes. If I'm doing a more thorough makeup, because I know I'm going to be going out or doing something special where I want my makeup to last all day, it definitely might take me more like 20 minutes, but that's the most that I'm going to spend on my makeup. Um, and so, but what I did tonight took about 10 minutes. And that was I put on the primer, and then I did my well, actually, then I did my eyes, because you might want to do your eyes before you do your foundation and your face, because your eyes, you might end up having fallout from like eyeshadow and mascara and stuff like that. So then I did my eyes, which I'll talk about that in a minute. And then I did my face with, like I said, I did the concealer under my eyes, and then I did the Match Airbrush, which is actually a tinted primer, but it can also serve as like a foundation. Um, and and so I did that. And if I want a little bit more foundation, I like to go to this Match Filter foundation, because it is like a palette, and it's a if I can get it open. For some reason it's stuck. Here we go. It's a palette, and you can see I've used this one a lot, and it's like that creamy type formula. I do sometimes use other liquid versions as well, and but anyway, but tonight I just did the the airbrush. This is really fun, and my shade on that is light, fair light. Um, and so if you are ever guilty of putting on too much foundation, I know I am sometimes. Let me know that in the comments too. And so the next thing is blush. So after I do my blush, or after I do my foundation, whatever I'm going to do for that, I do like to put on blush. And actually, sometimes if I don't feel like doing foundation, I just put on the blush because it gives you a little bit of extra color to your cheeks. Um, and blush and highlighter can actually be your best friends when it comes to adding warmth and dimension. If you apply your blush slightly higher on your cheekbone, then you can get a lifted effect. You can use a cream highlighter for a soft glow, or powder to give you a little bit of extra pop. And of course, you don't want to go overboard, because you want radiance, but you don't want to be like too sparkly and weird looking. You don't want to, what is that? Twilight, the vampires. Anyway, you don't want to have that extra sparkle. You just want to look nice and glowing. And so highlighter will help with that. And I did not do any highlighter tonight, but what I did do was the Whipped Lip and Cheek Tint Avon Go, the blushed color. I had a sample of it, so you can tell this one has not been used, but it is a nice fluffy, um, product. And it's actually, you can use it for your lips too if you wanted. I did not tonight, but you can. So it's a double product. And when I like to use highlighter, although like I said, I didn't use it tonight, one of the highlighters that I will sometimes use is the FMG Love. It's a dual-ended highlighter. And so highlighter can help for sure, and I do use it sometimes if I want to look a little bit more glowy. And then for eyeshadow, your eyeshadow and your brows can help to set your look. So for brows, light hair-like strokes with a pencil can help to give you a natural look. I'll be real honest, I actually really don't do too much with my brows other than make sure they're combed. But your brows, you can definitely do some stuff for that, and you can use just a light pencil will help to give it a more natural look. Eyeshadow, you can so all right, so eyeshadow, you can, if you want to do a lot with it, you can have a transition shade in your crease because that will help to make your blending easier. And if you want a bright awake look, you can do some shimmer in the inner corner of your eyes. I am a person that I usually will use a singular eyeshadow. I know that, you know, or I say that, or I like to do like a more matte color and then cover it up with shimmer. I am not too much for like the smoky eye look and stuff like that, I guess is what I should say. But if you want to have a more bright look, definitely shimmer. I did use a shimmer shade tonight. It's actually something that's no longer available, so I'm not going to delve into it. But I did use a shimmer shade because I like to have shimmer glitter. But again, you don't want too much glitter because I know that if I have an eyeshadow that has too much glitter, it likes to come down on my face, and you don't want that to happen either. um, and but if I do want my eyeshadow to last longer, I do use an eyeshadow primer as well because that will help to have your eyeshadow last a little bit longer. And it definitely helps with like not having it get too creased and smudged and stuff like that. I also will use a primer for my eyelashes before my mascara because the primer that I'll use for that is this FMG Cashmere Eyelash Primer, but it will definitely help when it comes to having the mascara to last longer, to stick. I've noticed it as far as like it helps with not having my mascara. Again, talking about smudging and stuff, it helps with my mascara not to sponge too much. But your tip for mascara is for mascara is when you wiggle your wand at the base of your lashes, you can get some extra volume. So like and another tip for mascara is instead of pumping, just untwist, you know, do whatever you're going to do. If you need more, then go in and twist it and untwist it. Instead of doing that pumping motion, just twist. And so they're talking about when you put it on, just wiggle a little bit at the bottom, at the base of your lashes for volume. And you can also apply a light coat of powder before mascara for extra thickness. Or like I said, the eyelash primer will help with that as well. And then an eyeliner trick is if you are doing a winged eyeliner, which I don't usually do that. And actually, I'm not even wearing any eyeliner tonight. But an eyeliner trick is that you can have, for an easy wing, you can actually use tape as a guide and have like a way to guide your wing so that it doesn't look too funny. And then for lips, like I said, I do that. If I'm only going to do one thing, it's my lips. And if you want your lips to last longer, one tip is to exfoliate it before to exfoliate your lips so that it will help to get rid of any dry skin. You can also use a lip liner that will help to not only make it last longer, but to define and prevent feathering. And layer your lipstick. You can blot it, you know, do the kiss to a tissue and set with a light dusting of translucent powder for longer wear, or just have a more longer lasting type formula, which I do use a few of those. For this video, I did put on the Avon Glow. It's the lacquered lip gel in Orchid Bloom. So you can see that it's a little bit glossy. It is a gel. It's not a lip gloss. It's a gel. And Orchid Bloom, you can see it. It actually, I mean, it is color on my lips because that's not my natural lip color. But it's not like a lot of color. Now, there are 6 shades available, and there's 2 that definitely have way more color impact to them. But the one I had on tonight was the Orchid Bloom. But anyway, and so I want to know, are you team matte or are you team gloss when it comes to your lips? Tell me that in the comments. And if you want to lock it all in, a great tip is to use some sort of setting spray. And you can think of it as hairspray for your face, because it's going to help to lock everything in place, help prevent melting. Like if you're out in the and you're sweating and stuff like that, it will still even help your skin, your makeup to last a little bit. And it helps your skin looking fresh. You can spray it in an X or a T motion for full coverage. Let it dry naturally. Don't try to rub it in. And choose a matte finish for oily skin or a dewy finish for dry skin. With a matte finish, instead of the setting spray, you might also try some sort of like a powder, setting powder. There's setting powders out there. And so you might try that as well instead of a spray. I will say, this one, the FMG Set and Fix Spray, I would say excuse me, that it kind of goes for like a dewy finish, but it can give you a matte look too. It's not going to make you look super dewy, if that makes sense. And I usually honestly just take it and go and spray it over my face. I don't worry about whether it's an X or a T or whatever, but you can think about that just for your full coverage. And another product you might try, I was talking about the Glow Primer. There's a Glow spray as well, and that one definitely would help with a dewy finish. But I usually personally just I'll use this, and I do feel like it helps my makeup to last all day. I will be honest, tonight before I did the video, I went ahead and just put on some makeup because I was like, I need to have makeup on if I'm doing a makeup video. It doesn't make sense to have a makeup video. But anyway, and but there have definitely been days, like I said, where I wanted my makeup to last because I was doing an event or I was going out and doing something special or whatever the case might be. And so I will go ahead and use that setting spray. And I do definitely feel like it helps. Um, and if you use the setting spray, let me know that too. So those are 7 tips for a flawless makeup look. Which one was your favorite? I want you to tell me that in the comments. Are you doing any of these things? What have you found makes your makeup last longer? If you learned something new today, I want you to let me know that as well. You can also like the video, share the video, make sure well, I think most of you that are watching this are probably following me, but if you're not, follow me. If you're watching on YouTube, you can also subscribe. And if you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and comment those as well. And thanks for hanging out. I do appreciate it. Let me recap really quickly because I know I did a lot of talking, but if you're still here, let me just recap what these 7 tips are. So the first tip is to use primer because that's going to definitely help to keep everything in place. And if you want, if you have oily skin, you want a mattifying primer. If you have dry skin, you want a hydrating primer. And if you have large pores, you can try a pore filling primer. The second tip is with your foundation to less is more, and that you can build coverage gradually. You can use a damp sponge to have a more natural shine or a more natural finish. And with concealer, you can do a triangular shape under your eye to help give it a lifted effect and let it set for 30 seconds. And also concealer before foundation. And then tip number 3 is blushing and highlighting can definitely add warmth and dimension. If you can apply your blush a little bit higher on your cheekbones to make it look more lifted, and you can use highlighter to give you some more glow. And then tip number 4 is with your brows, using light hair-like strokes with a brow pencil is going to give you a more natural look. And with eyeshadow, you can apply shimmer in the inner corner to have more bright, awake look. And you can have a transition shade in the crease and like blend. But honestly, have fun with your makeup, have fun with your eyeshadow, have fun with all of it. Tip number 5 is eyeliner for an easy wing. You can use tape if you want to do a winged look. And you can do eyeliner like just on the top or on the top and the bottom, whatever you want. Again, have fun with your makeup. Mascara, wiggling the wand at the base of your lashes will give more volume, and also instead of that pump motion, twist it. And then for your lips, exfoliating will help it last longer and also get rid of any dry lip looking things. Using a lip liner will help things last longer. And then also layering your lipstick, like doing lipstick and blotting and doing some more. And then setting spray is going to lock everything in. It's tip number 7. So anyway, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video for good because I've been talking for 20 minutes and I'm sure I've lost most of the audience. But if you are still here and you watched the whole video, thank you again for watching. I do appreciate it. Stay tuned to this page this week because there's going to definitely be some posting about this information. And thanks for hanging out. Until next time, stay fabulous. I will see everybody with my next video. Bye.